The Mean Machine. Possible Terrence Bud Crawford title defense. Egis Kavliauskas. That's who we're talking about right here on this show, on the undercard of Jose Carlos Ramirez, sorry, taking on Donnie O'Connor. Undercard co-main event is Egis Mean Machine Kavliauskas taking on Carlos Abreu. Juan Carlos Abreu. Now, if you follow the show, hopefully you're already a subscriber and you thumbs up this video already. But besides that, you know, I talk about a lot of fighters. You know, I try my best not to make this show your typical 5 internet conversations. I really try to make the audience who love boxing, who discover this show, get entertained with boxing talk. And besides Crawford and Spence, which ain't going to happen about for a year and a half or 2 years, we know Crawford's going to have to defend that belt. And we know how Top Rank goes. It's to keep it in-house most of the time. So we always talk about Bud Crawford's title defense. Excuse me. And I talk about Egis a lot. You know, a powerhouse fighter, come forward. You know, a well overall crafted European type fighter. And I think he'd be a good fight for Crawford. You know, do I think he'll beat him? No, I think Crawford's leg movement will be the difference in that fight. But do I think the punching power, it'd be a good thing to see Crawford go against because Crawford likes to go toe to toe. So that's why I talk a lot about Egis here. Now, swaying away from Bud Crawford and talking actual about the fight itself, Egis taking on Juan Carlos Abreu, who's last in the ring, I believe was against. Oh no, he fought after he knocked out Jose Soto Corras. You know, I remember that fight. It should be a good little test, you know, because we're going to see someone because a lot of Egis' fights, they come forward, they try and fight him, and they just don't have the craft, the experience, the ability to hang with him. Because he's deep, like a deep amateur experience. He knows how to fight. He knows all the punches. He's off, like I said, leg-wise, he's a come forward fighter. Defensively, he sways with the hips, shows head movements, catches on the guard. And offensively, he doubles up on the jab, doubles up on either hand, down low, up to the top of the body. Throws combinations 1-2 with a hook, 1-2 with an uppercut. The dude's well crafted overall. Swings a little too hard on every punch. Sometimes he has a hard time. I don't want to say a hard time. Sometimes he just don't do the setup. You know, softball, softball, hard. Softball, softball, hard. He tries to hurt you a lot, and I think he had a better time if he just throws softball and set it up. But he throws with mean intentions on a lot of punches. Now, whereas Carlos Abreu, he's a more patient fighter. He'll try to let you walk into traps, go around the ring. You know, unless he's just really confident that he's a dominant fighter, he'll come forward. But a lot of times he'll just even against Corras, he just let Corras just walk himself into traps, let him walk himself into a right hand. Or left hand, I should say. No, right hand. Let himself walk into traps. You know, a nice stick out there jab, keep the distance. It's going to be interesting to see how Egis handles a trap setting fighter as Abreu. I said Abreu, if we're going to compare the stat and fighting style and get him ready for a Bud Crawford fight, Egis that is, they both come in at 5'9". Abreu a little taller at 9.5. 71-inch reach. They both got a longer reach than Crawford. So he's taller than Crawford. Both fighters are taller than Crawford and have a longer reach than Crawford. So they're 30 years old, 31 years old for Abreu. How can Abreu win this fight? I think he's gonna have to use Egis' aggressive against him, really move around the ring. He's going to have to hit him with a jab, a stiff jab, not just a pawn out there jab that could easily get countered over the right with overhand right. He's going to have to get Egis' respect with jab and then take the half step back and pop him with the right hand. He's going to have to catch him with that constantly. Use Egis' aggressive enough against him. Because that's about the only way. I don't see him really walking forward and just overpowering him with offensive combinations. I don't see that happening. He could try, but I think he's going to get countered with something nasty on the hook. And I just see Egis being a little too aggressive in this fight sometimes, getting hit with shots, but he's going to come forward, throw all his power into those shots, and then I think he's going to stop Abreu about the 8th or 9th round. This is a 10-round fight. He's the North American Boxing Federation, so this is for Egis' NABF welterweight title. He's ranked number 11th in the world. Egis, how is he ranked in the WBO? I think he's number 3 in the WBO. So this is a nice little stay. I don't know if you want to call it a stay busy fight, but I guess you can. But before we sign off, this is the Double RT Boxing Show, the Ready Talk Boxing Show. I'm your host, Mr. A. Please subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. And Egis in the WBO, number 2. He went up from number 3 to 2. Damn, Gustillo Clayton out of Canada is number 1. Terence Crawford might have to fight that guy, but I'm pretty sure if his next fight ain't against Benavidez, since it's a voluntary, I won't be surprised if Egis is going to be his first mandatory. I don't see the Canadian guy getting over. Egis is number 4 in the WBA, number 5 in the WBC, and number 15th in the IBF. Go figure. He's like top 5 in all of them, but the IBF got him number 15. So he's definitely a contender in the welterweight division. This is the Double RT Boxing Show. Leave a comment down below. Who do you got? What do you think of Egis? What do you think of him and Bud Crawford? What do you think he's going to do against Carlos Abreu here? Thank you for the time and support. You can follow me on Twitter at RRTB Show. The Ready Talk Boxing Show with Mr. A. RRTB Show. That's my Twitter thing. Thank you for your support.